Welcome to another episode of the Nick and Jimmy Show. On today's episode, we have a Canadian champ, actually a former Canadian champion. Right now, you have 2 belts?
Yes, 2 belts that I just won. So the NABF and the IBF North American titles.
His record's 21 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Shakeel Phinn.
Thanks for
Welcome
having
on
me,
the show.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Talk to us. Who are you and what do you do?
My name's Shakeel Phinn. They call me the Jamaican Juggernaut. I'm a professional boxer. I have 24 fights. I'm currently 21 and 2 with 1 draw. And I have 15 knockouts.
Solid.
Yeah. I mean, so everybody has like their, you can start at whatever. I took it fast. I played all types of sports. I played football, I played basketball, I played volleyball, rugby. Any sport, you name it, I pretty much played, except hockey. I'm not a good skater. But, so I was, during the football season, I decided to do another training. So I did some jiu-jitsu, which is like grappling. And the jiu-jitsu gym was inside of a boxing gym. So then I saw some boxing. So I was like, oh, let me add some boxing to the training too. And so I started boxing. I loved it. And I felt like it was helping me out in football. And after 2 weeks of being at the boxing gym, the coach there at the time was saying, yeah, why don't you try some sparring? So I said, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna try sparring. And I'm like, me thinking I could fight, I never really been in a fight in my life, like maybe breaking up fights, but never been in a fight. I was like, yeah, for sure. So he puts me in this guy who's maybe about like 145 pounds. And me at the time, I was pretty big playing football. I was maybe like 205.
How much you know? How much you
I'm about 185 right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that much of a difference, but
I mean, like, it was a lot bigger, football used to lift a lot of weights and stuff like that too. So, so we go in the sparring ring, whatever, we put on our stuff, mouthpiece and everything. And, I'm trying to use what I learned during the class because I might want to throw a punch properly, So, I start jabbing and I hit him with a jab and he smirks at me. So I'm like, okay, this guy's cocky, So like, then I'm trying to hit him, but he's like moving around and he's super fast. So then I see the coach in the corner of my eye tell him to turn it up a little bit. So I'm just like, okay, we're still in the first round. So maybe like 2 minutes go by, but I'm starting to feel, I'm trying to gas out a little bit. I'm like, damn, this is tiring. So then he starts putting on me, starts hitting me. He gets me into the ropes, starts hitting me to the body. I freaking start curling up like a freaking little baby, whatever, in the ropes. And they stopped after the first round. My nose is bleeding. And the coach was like, you want to go another one? I'm like, hell no.
Did you break your nose?
No, it never. I never broke my nose before.
Never?
It's always just a flat nose, yeah.
Okay,
and so I was bleeding. I was like, damn, this is tough. But then he's like, you want to keep going? I'm like, nah, that's it for me for today. But I'll definitely come back and keep going at it, So I'm a very prideful person. So after that last football season, I stopped playing football and I decided to dedicate myself to boxing. So I took it up really fast. Being 21, when I jumped into boxing, it was more like, okay, like it was for a good workout. Then it was like, hey, I want to do something out of this. So I know I can be a champion one day. So let me see how far I go with it. So when I took it up, I was like, okay, let me do a couple amateur fights and just kind of went with it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I love your boxing gym, man. It's we signed up maybe a few months ago or something. You guys are very welcoming. The ambiance is great. You're patient with us, especially.
Yeah, this guy. No, but in boxing, I don't like gyms. When I go into gyms, any kind of gym, fitness gyms, any type of CrossFit gyms, go in the gym and there's like egos.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of stuff.
Right.
Like I don't.
Egos
like
at the door.
Yeah. You come to my gym. There's none of that shit. Like we're a big family here.
Yeah.
You need help. You ask somebody. Like you ask me. Like I'm always going around trying to show everybody something. It's nobody's better than anybody. Everybody, right. I'll pair somebody up. It's their first day. I'll pair them up with somebody who's been there who's been doing the classes or who's been boxing for more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter. That person's gonna help you, and you just get better together. So like that kind of stuff, like egos and stuff, I don't like. But everybody at my gym is super cool. It's like a big family.
And is it true that boxing is one of the best cardios you can ever have?
Oh yeah, 100%. One of the best workouts you can do. Period. Anybody going to boxing. I know like guys like. Who's the cyclist there? The one who got caught for steroids? Something Armstrong. That's Armstrong. It. So he actually, I remember Ian, my coach Ian, was telling me when he used to train in LA at the Wildcard Gym. I guess he was filming a commercial or what it was, and then he started doing pads with Freddie Roach, and he would be gassed after like maybe a round or two. This is a guy like freaking Tour de France, all this other stuff. Like supposed to be cardio out the roof, but boxing's such a different type of shock. Different kind of cardio. So it definitely is a great workout for everybody. And I recommend it to everybody too.
How many times a week is a good amount of times to go?
I mean, I say like three times a week is a good time. You get your skills in and you get good cardio and you get you want to see results coming too. So if you come once a week, it's not really gonna show what so like if you come at least 3 times a week, I think that's a good start.
But 50%, or would you say 80% is what you eat?
Oh yeah,
to be in
for
shape.
sure. To be in shape, I mean, for especially aesthetically, it's you gotta it's 80% what you're eating. Like even for performance wise, you gotta eat well and make sure your body's getting the right nutrients and stuff like that. But for losing weight and trying to look lean and whatnot, you definitely gotta eat right, and it helps a lot.
So let's talk about your belts.
Yeah.
You started boxing at 21. How old were you when you got your first belt, and how did you feel?
So started boxing at 21. Boxed amateur for 3 years. So I turned pro at 24. Had my first professional fight was like in January 2015. And then I won so these two are 2 belts I won June 8th of this year, so 2019. But the other belt that I won, my first belt, was my Canadian title. I won in 2016. So I went to Saskatchewan, always Saskatchewan, and I fought a guy down there from Saskatchewan. I beat him in a decision. So that was when I was 25.
And what was your record when you got your first belt?
My record was, I believe, 7-1. I believe
7-1.
7-1. I had my first loss in my second fight actually. So
did you ever box in the States?
I boxed in the States once in my third fight, and I went to Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, Baltimore.
And what's the compensation like? Like, does it pay a lot to be a professional boxer?
I mean, as a professional boxer, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes with it, right? So like, say like anybody can actually become a professional boxer. That's a professional fighter. That is like, just letting you guys know that, like, it's not like you play football and not everybody can go pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a boxer, like professional boxer, like you can, I want to be a professional boxer. You train a bit, whatever, and then there's the commission. There's a Quebec commission who's here. So you guys go to, like, say I want to go pro. So you go there, you get your boxing license. They say, have you ever fought before? You're like, no. Okay, we have to see you in action. So you go to a gym, a boxing gym, and you tell a friend, okay, or another boxer, can we do some drills together? They want to see how we look. So they tell you guys to do offense, defense, and then you guys do full-on sparring. So they see if you're actually ready to go pro type of thing. But these guys don't really know what they're doing anyway. So most of the time when you see guys who are getting knocked out or who have all these losses and a bunch of losses and no wins, those are those guys. So in boxing, like for money-wise, so in the beginning, like I'd say like you're not making much, but a couple $100 for a fight. And it depends on if like you went to the Olympics as an amateur, if you were a standout amateur, you won the Worlds, won the Pan Ams, whatever it is, and you got picked up by a big promoter. So there's big promoters like Top Rank, like Golden Boy, Matchroom, which is Eddie Hearn, all these different type of big things, promoters. So you get picked up by one of those guys, and then you get paid well because you're already going to be on pretty much TV right off the bat. But if you start off like me, and I won maybe like bronze, those like minor Quebec amateur titles, nothing big. So no promoter was looking at me coming when I said I was going to turn pro. It was like not big news, So my first fight, I think I made like $400.
Okay.
So it was a 4-round fight, more like $400, and then plus I made an extra couple $100 for selling tickets, and then a guy was who wants to be my manager or whatever, is like gave me an extra $1,000. So I made maybe like $1,800, but that was like $1,400 just for the fight, and then others came from other stuff, So
sponsorships.
Exactly. So I mean, like, but yeah, as a boxer, it's like you got to work too, right? So like, I mean, even now, it's like I'm not living off of boxing. I'm living off of like I do my personal trainings, whatever like that, at the gym. And whatever, the boxing is definitely the main source of income because that's where I get most of my income from. But like living off of boxing right now, no. But like getting there, yes, for sure. Especially at the point where I am right now in my career, got these 2 titles, which is a big thing. And then on the next fights and stuff like that, when there's more TV involved and whatnot, and more promoters looking, then you kind of go up. But it takes a while. It takes a while for guys to kind of get to that stage, though.
And what's your goal?
My goal is to be world champion one day. That's the ultimate goal.
Do you see it? Like,
I
you
see,
know,
yeah.
I don't know if you say law of attraction.
Yeah. I mean,
Believe
like,
it, feel it,
yeah,
see
for
it.
sure. I mean, like, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, for sure. I mean, like, you got to visualize it. You see it, you believe it, you work for it, you can achieve it, right? So, like with these 2 belts here, I remember, like, it was just like visualize. I have a board at home, whatever. Me and my girlfriend would write shit. You know, sometimes like slack on it, but I write it all the time. Write it out. Make sure you do it, and it kind of comes true, right? So like we kind of wrote it out, boom, 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 and I visualize it every day after training, lifting my hands up, okay, boom, 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 like thinking, okay, I'm the champion. I'm the champion now. Yes, you feel it. So you feel it, and then when this happened, it's not like I obviously it happens. I was teary-eyed and everything like that, but I wasn't surprised because I knew I was it was gonna happen one day. And the same thing about being world champion. I just have to work for it. Visualize it. I'm already visualizing, but like it's still one step at a time. Yeah.
And what did you do when you wanted, as a young boy? Did you always see yourself being a champion in sports, or did you visualize?
So when I was younger, it was like I was always into sports, but it was like I wanted to be a professional football player. Like that was what I wanted. Like when I started playing football, I was like maybe like 10 years old.
Deion Sanders.
I love Deion Sanders, but Emmitt Smith, because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, right? Yeah. So Emmitt Smith was like crazy. I love Emmitt Smith. All those guys, Bo Jackson, freaking all the old school guys, Joe Brown, watching their highlights, Walter Payton, and because I played running back, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a professional football player. So like even in like when I got to high school, like at the end, like grad ceremony, you have your grad book, so you sign up people's grad stuff. I would say, and I would write something in everybody's grad book, say future superstar, NFL superstar, you know. So they're like, oh yeah, Shaq. So like now we had like our 10-year thing. They're like, Shaq, Dad, it wasn't, you weren't a superstar in the NFL, but you're kind of getting up there in boxing right now. So I mean, I kind of guess maybe I said it, I planted the seed back then, and now it's like it's kind of coming to fruition with boxing, but not with football. Yeah.
And how do you mentally prepare for a fight?
Mentally preparing for a fight, it's honestly like right now it's pretty much the same. I have the same ritual I do right now. It's I don't like anything switching it up because I feel like it's like bad vibes. You know, I don't like. I'm very like, what's that word?
OCD.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And so what I do is just, you know, like I make sure everything's good. I always go to the gym. I stopped training people like maybe like 2 weeks before my fight, so I don't do more privates. I stopped teaching the classes maybe a week before my fight. Food and stuff like that, it's always the same meals and stuff like that. I never really switch nothing up. Drinking a lot of water.
No alcohol.
Thing, obviously no alcohol. I never drink alcohol anyway. I drink it rarely, maybe after fights. That's the rare occasion, maybe some, but never during camp. So when
did you say you love ouzo?
Love what?
Ouzo.
What's that?
Okay, so you don't try it. It's a Greek liquor.
No, see. But yeah, so I barely drink. So just, you know, same thing, getting up, running in the morning or running at night, making sure I get my road work in, that's the running.
This is 7 days now, every day.
So I don't run every day. I run maybe like 4 times a week. But I have all my trainings pretty much 6 days a week, which is my training with my boxing coach. And then I have 2 to 3 days a week with my strength and conditioning coach, which I do other stuff too. So like some days it's 2 times a day, sometimes it's 3, depends on like the trainings, you know, depends on the days. And yeah, so that always has to stay the same throughout my whole camp. And yeah, so that's how I get ready.
And you talk about eating and everything, your nutrition. You're vegan, right?
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
It's been 2 years now. So it's been 2 years now that I've been on a plant-based diet, vegan. It started, 2 years ago. I was looking to change up my diet, and I was having a little bit of trouble making weight for some of my fights, whatever. I think I missed the weight 1 or 2 times, and I was like, shit, I got to do something else. And my coach is saying, shit, like you gotta start, you gotta be careful what you're doing because this is gonna cost you, So, and I watched a couple documentaries on Netflix and stuff like that. Like one of them called "What the Health."
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I was like, like sometimes they blow things up, but they're supposed to, So like, the way I was seeing stuff, I was like, man, like this is pretty gross, Like I don't want to be drinking milk anymore. I don't want to be eating this. And it was more for health reasons, like the animal things too. Like now I'm more conscious, whatever. But it was really started off just health reasons, whatever. So I went after we watched that. Me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend already had started. She was doing it for like maybe a month before or a couple weeks before. Nice. So she was just trying to like switch stuff in her diet just to try it. She didn't want to go full like I'm done right now, So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I took out the milk out my fridge, took out like all the meats and stuff, went to my mom's house, dropped it off. Said, here you go. I'm going vegan. She's like, what? She couldn't believe me. She's like, this is not how I raised you. She's like, you're gonna lose all your strength, and everybody's saying, you're gonna lose all your strength and this and that. So, but it's been 2 years now, and I honestly feel great.
So you didn't feel weak at the beginning? Are you taking any supplements?
In the beginning, I'd say like my body took a couple months to adjust to.
Well, you get the protein from the beans and all that, right?
You get a whole bunch from the plants and stuff like that. It's different kind of protein, but I mean, you still get the same things, you know.
Nutrients, right?
Yeah. And so like I did that, and in the beginning, I felt full of energy, but I was losing weight like crazy. So maybe I didn't feel maybe as strong, but it took a couple months. But now I feel like maybe I'm just as strong or stronger than I was before. So yeah, and it's been really good.
Good for you, man. You're happy. You feel great.
Great.
Keep it up, man. I love my meat.
Yeah. No, I don't. Honestly, I don't even push nothing on nobody. It's not like something where I'll be like, why are you eating this?
Let's get that out of the way.
No,
okay?
I still, I still freaking go eat with my friends, and they'll have their stuff, and then I'll have my stuff.
And who is your favorite professional boxer, and why?
All-time favorite boxer is Mike Tyson. Just
Mike
because,
Tyson.
like,
So is he your mentor?
Huh?
Is he your indirect mentor?
Or virtual?
Well, I mean, like it's like a person that I watch highlights of all the time. I watch his style since I first started boxing. I even used to watch him when I was playing football to get me pumped up. So like, I feel like you watch like a highlight tape of Mike Tyson, it's like, oh my God, like, yo, this is vicious. So like, anybody who watches, like, say you want to get started with your day, you're like, I'm trying to get pumped, watching Mike Tyson, right? So like, I mean, that was Mike Tyson for me. And then when I started boxing, I wanted to be like him, moving his style, hands up, and just fast, explosive, hard puncher. That's what I used to love to watch, and that's what I still like to watch him sometimes too. So all-time favorite boxer, definitely Mike Tyson.
Wissam, when he came to your boxing gym to film your signature video, he asked you a question. Why don't you ever look at your opponent's eye? You always look on the floor.
Yeah.
Why?
So it's not that I don't look in their eyes. I look at their chest, because the eyes, they lie, right? I could be looking. It's like no look stuff. Like I could be looking here, bang, bang. Come with another shot. So you don't trust the eyes, right? I mean, it's like poker. You know what I'm saying? You don't like I look at the shoulders, I look at the torso. So I'm always looking at the chest. Mm-hmm. So the chest, like here, the hips, like from the shoulders down to the torso is what I read. I don't have to look into his face or whatever to know what he's throwing. I look low, and I look about there. Exactly. So that I kind of read off of that. So because if you're looking in guys' eyes, like, I mean, like, he can be throwing something that's not that what's gonna come. So that's how I feel about that.
You currently coach boxers at your gym. How do you identify potential talent, and what does it take for someone to be coached by you one by one?
So my amateur team, we have a couple amateur boxers at the gym. So me and my buddy, other professional boxer Kenny, we both coach the amateurs, so help coach the amateurs. And I mean, like, we see like different guys in the gym who are looking pretty good, and then we have them spar after classes, and we kind of see, okay, this guy could probably do something, So then we kind of work with those guys. We started some amateur classes that we do a couple times a week, just the amateur guys. And we do some sparring classes. We do some more technique classes to get them ready for fights. And this is how we see like their potential, So we starts by the regular classes that we do with the regular people, recreational classes. And we see like just like the way they're moving and stuff. I'm like, okay, these guys are actually pretty skilled. And then they do the sparring. I'm like, all right, so let's teach these guys. Let me see how far these guys can go. And for one-on-one stuff, it's more like for one-on-one training with me, your average person, just hit me up.
So you don't have to compete like me Tuesday. We're gonna sit down.
No, regular.
We're gonna
train. I train mostly
just to be in shape.
Yeah, I train mostly regular Joes anyway. So like anybody who wants to just get in shape or learn how to box.
So let's say, so this belt here, for example, was somebody else's. Is that it, or it's a replica?
So all the belts they make now are pretty much replicas, right?
So this, let's say, God forbid, you lose, right? You lose his belt. It's not going to be with you, or you keep it as an antique.
I keep these belts for life.
Okay,
these are mine.
Okay, got it.
Because I mean, like, imagine like blood stains on it, whatever. I never know. So then they're not gonna, like, in the ring they will put this one on the guy.
Stupid question, but I didn't.
But no, it's not a stupid question, because before I boxed, I didn't think it was like that either. I thought they had just exchanging the same belt every single time. Like, at the end of the day, it's kind of gross, But I mean, like, no, everybody gets
WWF back in the day.
Yeah, you think like everybody, but people get their own belts. So like That's why you see like pictures when Mayweather posts pictures like all those belts. It's he just getting them again type of thing. You know, like I mean, if he goes into weight class, he gets another belt. Or if he vacates it, he lets go of his old belt, then he goes back again and he fights for a belt again. Then he give him another belt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he doesn't keep his belt; he gets a new one all the time.
If he's a champion, he'll always keep his same belt. But he
doesn't get a new one.
No.
Okay.
Say he lets go of his belt, he vacates it,
He keeps
and
it.
he fights.
What's that mean by vacating it?
Vacating means like, okay, I wanna go for another title, and I can't keep defending this title, so I'm gonna vacate my title. So like I'm gonna
Forfeit
the title, exactly. Okay. So I forfeit my title because X reasons. And
but people do that often.
Yeah, it happens. It happens in boxing all the time. And say I vacate this title, but I don't want to defend it anymore. I'm going to have to defend. If I want to fight for a world title, I have to vacate. I forfeit these belts anyway. So I forfeit these belts, and then I fight for a world title. If I win the world title, boom, I get a new title order. If I lose, then I'd have to fight for these again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can I ask you another question to make the show a little bit more interesting?
Yeah.
Can you just give us a beating right now?
Beating? You guys really want to fight?
No, like give us like a real beating. Like break our nose and everything.
Beat the shit out of you.
Right now, just beat us up.
Beat the shit out of you.
You want me to fight you guys?
For everybody watching this video that wants to get involved in boxing or wants to be in shape, what a couple of nuggets you could share with them, a couple of tips.
Make sure your eating is right, because everybody knows what's going into your body. Like everybody wants to say like, oh, I eat well, but do you really eat well? So watch what you're eating. Try to do something active. Maybe come to a boxing gym. Maybe come to Donnybrook. Anywhere you want to go and get into something active and just live a clean lifestyle. Everything, like I said, everything in moderation.
So that's the foundation.
That's the foundation. Everything in moderation. Eat clean. Have your cheat days here and there. Don't go crazy. Not a whole cheat day or two, right, Nick? But and just try to stay disciplined. Like don't make it a thing where it's like, like I'm all in it, and then a month after it's done. So like try to
Gotta be consistent.
Consistency is key. I know it's like an overplayed saying, but it really is. You stay consistent in anything you do in life. Shit, you're gonna make something happen. The same thing with Nick and Jimmy show. You guys stay consistent with what you guys are doing, and you guys are in season 3.
Absolutely.
So you know what I mean. Like
exactly,
you guys are gonna go season 4 next year, and you guys just stay doing you guys' thing and just pumping it up. And like same thing with my gym and boxing, everything you do, just stay consistent. Same thing with training and stuff.
How do people, if they want to follow your journey, and they want to get to know you more, how can they follow you on social media?
So Shakeel Phinn on Instagram, Facebook. Shakeel the Jamaican Juggernaut, Twitter, Shaq Phinn. So you find me.
We're very happy to be able to, work out with you. We have good times all the time.
For sure.
Slack off here and there.
A little bit. But it's all good, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.